EDC enthusiasts and fellow genetic modified Vikings, I'm Diener. Welcome to the channel. Today we have an unboxing of a knife. If you've watched any of my live streams that I've done with Kevin over at Duty's Daggers or Jason, Puerto Rican with a Knife, this is my favorite designer. I am a fanboy. However, I'm not a completely both feet in fanboy. There are a couple of designs from this designer that I'm not too crazy about, and I'll let you know about those. At any rate, this knife is a variant of my all-time favorite design model, that is, from this designer. And I bought it from White Mountain Knives. If you haven't purchased anything from White Mountain Knives, I strongly recommend you do so. White Mountain Knives is owned by a gentleman named Justin. The customer service is absolutely phenomenal. You can't beat it. Great selection, great pricing. And regarding pricing, I purchased this knife, just dropped a few days ago, and I used the discount code, Kevin over at Duty's Daggers, his discount code for this knife, and it worked. This knife retailed for $410. I got it for $369, so I got the 10% off. So every purchase that I've made at White Mountain Knives, I've gotten that discount. So you can't beat it. So I strongly recommend you go there and use this retailer. Phenomenal. So we're going to switch down to the top-down view here in a second, but here's the knife I'm going to be using for the unboxing. That is the Redencion Street. Ramon Chaves Redencion Street. Absolutely phenomenal knife. Fits absolutely perfectly in the hand. Fills the hand up. This is not their smallest knife, but it's the perfect size knife. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal knife. But here's the box. We'll get her open here, and we will get right into it. And then I'm going to switch down to the top-down view. There we go. Bring over the microphone. But here it is. And it is a Ramon Chaves. This designer, Ramon Chaves, just does a great job on his designs. They're very distinctive, very iconic. The packaging is phenomenal. These are the OEM as Riot. When he first started making the knives, he made them himself. And it was shortly thereafter, some of the customs and some of the original designs, the 228, I believe, I regret now not picking up. I passed them up. It was when I was first starting to get into the hobby, and I wish now I would have picked them up, but I did not. Now they're going for ridiculous amounts of money. But here it is. This is the Redencion 229. Oh, is that coming in? There we go. I'm hoping. Get in there. Kickstop. Anyway, this is the Redencion 229 Kickstop. This is the Tanto version. Absolutely awesome. I had to get this. You know, again, me, I'm a Ramon Chaves fan. I think I have nearly every one of his knives. There might be one model that I do like that I don't have. The one that I'm not a fan of is the tack, the tiny-ass knife. It's just, Ramon Chaves is known for his thick and chunky knives. And when you take that concept, that trademark, and you put it into a knife as small as the tack, it just does not work in my opinion. So in fact, I bought a Tano and I bought a drop point version of the tack, and I sent them back. It just doesn't work. So at any rate, here it is. This has the Kickstop addition to this particular model. This is the 229 Redencion, and as you can see, it's a big, thick boy. I believe the blade stock, yeah, I got the blade stock. I got the specs up right here on the website. This is 16 thousandths, so it's a pretty thick blade stock. The overall length is 8 1/4. The blade length is 3.63 inches. The handle length is 4.59 inches. Bowler M390 steel. This is the Tano version. And what I like about Chaves is these are just solid blocks of titanium. There's no milling whatsoever. So let's give this thing a flip. I have not experienced this kickstop mechanism at all. So here we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, how could you not like that? That is excellent. Look at that blade, compound grind. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Oh, my God. Tell me that's not the baddest knife on the planet. The sleek design, the compound grind, neutral shape on the handle. And as big as that pocket clip is, it doesn't, I mean, you notice it, but not as much as you would think. This is damn near the perfect knife. It is my favorite design of any knife made. And however, it's not the best ergonomically in terms of what comes from Ramon Chaves. But this is my favorite, absolute favorite design. It's a beastie knife. The lock bar access is slightly cut out so you can get to it a little bit easier. There it goes, right there. It's damn near the perfect knife. Oh yeah, that's nice, guys. That is really nice. Now, what I'm going to do, everybody has seen this knife. You've heard a piece that I did on the pocket clip. I think that Ramon kind of caved in to the naysayers, the people that didn't like that pocket clip. You know, I got one thing to say. Don't be such a Nancy boy. Come on. How could you not like that pocket clip? It is iconic. It speaks everything of Ramon Chaves. It was in his original design, and I think he caved in. He caved in too quickly to the people that just can't accept the fact that it's a skull. And it's not offensive. It's his, I mean, look, that's his iconic design. So I think he should have stuck with this and did a market analysis instead of offering this, because this does come with the plain pocket clip. Okay. And for the people that don't like the skull. But, I mean, come on. I'll try to see if I can shield this the best that I can. Look at that. Now look at that. Come on. But I think he should have did a market analysis of the people that didn't like the skull clip, and then determine exactly what percentage of the buying public out there that didn't like the skull clip, and then manufacture that percentage of the knives with the traditional plain pocket clip, and then leave the skull clip on there. But the other thing he could have done differently, which he might do in the future, is instead of doing a surface mount on here where you got these two big studs sticking out here, which I really don't like, do it on an internal mount. That way you don't have those studs that you're looking at. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out, and I was curious with this knife, with a different mechanism. I was curious, and it's quite an ingenious mechanism, really. There is no stop pin. This mechanism acts as the stop pin. It looks like there's like an internal stop pin here on the flipper tab. Is there? Oh, wow. There's not. How the hell does that? It's hinged. But the flipper tab acts as the stop pin, but I got to believe there's a pin there. Yeah, there's got to be a pin there holding that flipper tab on. So the flipper tab has a range, and then once it gets to the end of that range, then the flipper tab becomes like part of the stop pin. So, but there she is. Man, does that sound nice when that deploys. So what I'm going to do, I was curious as I started, then I got kind of sidetracked, is how this compares in looks to the other Tanto Redencion 229s. So I have one here. This is the same newer design with the pocket clip that is external mounted. Oh, and it is different. Ah, okay. they did it a little bit different. Notice here, right around the pivot, the milling to make the lock bar is completely different. Interesting. I like the thumb stud version. That is one of my favorite types of designs as far as for the deployment method. But notice the sharpening choil. Significant sharpening choil on the thumb stud version. This has virtually no sharpening choil. And I mean, it is no sharpening choil. Huh. And I'm just kind of curious why they didn't. I don't think there's nothing in there that would have prevented them from not adding the sharpening choil. So unless they did it for aesthetics, that's the only thing I can think of, because there's nothing mechanically there that would dictate them not putting that sharpening choil in there. My guess is they went for the aesthetics, which, as you can see, is pretty significant between the two. So, but yeah, but the lock bar cutout is completely different on the standard version with the thumb stud deployment. Now, just for the heck of it, I'm just going to bring in the older style 229, which has the traditional design, the initial design, and let's see what he looks like compared to this. Okay, everything is identical with this design here. I can't tell the difference between them. If you can see the difference, you let me know. The blade grind is nearly identical. In fact, I'm just going to say they are identical. The jimping is the same. Ah, I take that back. The jimping is not the same. Look at here. And on this model, which is the thumb stud model, the jimping is into the frame. And with the kickstop flipper, there is no jimping milled into the frame. So that is a difference as well. So that they did that, I'm going to guess, for aesthetics. And really, I mean, kind of practicality. If you look at this design here, you're not really jimping. You're not using the jimping by when you choke up here. So that's really kind of where your thumb lands anyway. So maybe they just determined that it was just kind of senseless to put that in there. And that was the other thing of this design that I thought was kind of odd when I first saw it. But again, you know, it's a designer's choice. Is right here where they have the jimping milled into the frame here and here. But why didn't they continue the milling of the jimping on that part of the blade? That way the jimping was uniform across that whole distance right there. So I'm kind of surprised that they didn't do that there. And there's absolutely no reason why they couldn't have done it, because it would have been right here. There's nothing mechanically that would have prevented that. So at any rate, that's my take on that. So there it is. The Redencion 229 with the kickstop mechanism. Beautiful. They've got the blade steel on the base of the tang of the blade right there, versus up here they had to make room for the kickstop logo there. So there you go. Anyway, the everything is identical with the exception of this milling, the cutout for the lock bar, and the lack of the jimping here on the top of the frame, which I kind of like that better. I really do. I like that better. It's cleaner. It's less cluttered, and it makes more sense by not putting the jimping into the blade right there. It makes less sense whether you like it or not in terms of it being there. So there you go. That is it. I'm going to switch back down to the top-down view, the dual camera top-down view. There we go. So that's it. Awesome knife. Absolutely awesome knife. I'm glad I got this. I don't think I'm going to buy. I have the both of these models here. I have in the drop point as well as the Tanto. or tanto, potato, however way you say it. So I don't think I'm going to buy the drop point on this one. The tanto looks extremely well fit for the design of this particular knife. So I think the drop point is not going to look as nice as that, or as wicked. And that's what this is all about. This is just a wicked badass knife. So there you go. That's it. So I've got another box back here of a knife that I ordered some time ago. It took almost forever to get it in. And it was delayed, and then it was put off due to the fact that it comes from overseas. And there's a hint as to where this knife is coming from. So at any rate, it was held for me by a friend of mine who also owns a company that sells these. And I'll be doing that unboxing probably tomorrow morning. So at any rate, that's all there is to it. The Ramon Chaves 229 with the kickstop. Absolutely phenomenal knife. Let me know in the comments below what you think of that. If there's anything I missed, please comment. So like me on Instagram or right there. Follow me on Instagram. Like the video. Subscribe. In the meantime, this is Diener. I'm signing off until the next video.